It gives me great pleasure to present this year's Mary Beth Treen Award to a person much like Mary Beth, who has worked on a superhuman level to advance the arts and advocate for the arts in his home state, across the nation, and around the world. A legend among presenters and artists in Pennsylvania, Jim Woland calls himself an accidental presenter. Welcome. While teaching Shakespeare and literature to senior high school students for over 25 years, he created the Author and Artist series, presenting in public schools, combining presenting and residencies. 18 years ago, Jim caught the dance bug while attending a dance retreat at Jacob's Pillow. Some say it was the inspiring environs of the pillow, while others argue the true inspiration hit while sharing a pillow and room with Ellis Finger. By the way, the only two presenters in Pennsylvania to have B-boy names are Ellis and Jim. Ellis, MC Finger, and Jim, J. Woe. Jim crossed over to the funding world, joining the Pennsylvania Council on the Arts as program director for presenting organizations in 1996. While at the PCA, he was responsible for a crazy amount of programs, including presenting theater, literature, crafts, visual arts, art museums, and PCA liaison and adjunct staff for PennPAT. But the program that was his baby was presenting and touring. Jim didn't just oversee the funding of presenting programs in traditional ways. Over the years, he developed his own method of funding, something we presenters called In Jim We Trust. Among his many duties, Jim made presenter education a top priority, serving as the Pennsylvania Presenter Tour Guide and getting presenters to immerse ourselves in artist work in far-flung locations like Japan, the Berkshires, and Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. Speaking of Bethlehem, Jim often acted as our savior, pulling money out of we don't want to know where to support projects that could do the most good in the Commonwealth. Working among presenters, managers, and agents is perhaps the area where Jim has had the most profound effect. Pennsylvania Presenters was the vehicle through which Jim worked his magic, making tours happen in the nooks and crannies of the state severely underserved in the arts. A friend to all, he has presented several conference panels with artists advocating for their work to presenters who perhaps might be unfamiliar with it. Jim recently retired from the Pennsylvania Council on the Arts, though Pennsylvania presenters have barely noticed, as he's been actively involved in making 3 more dance tours happen in Pennsylvania. Next year, Pennsylvania presenters will call upon Jim to help make PAE in Pittsburgh a great success. Jim always states that presenters are the most, Jim has stated on many occasions that presenters are the most sharing and giving bunch of folks he's had the opportunity to know. Perhaps we've just learned from the master and are living his example. It is my honor to present the 2009 Mary Beth Treen Award to our friend and mentor, Jim Woland.
It would be difficult for me to tell you how very touched I am by this award. It's a pleasure coming to the end of one's life and receiving a gift like this. I know Mary Beth because she's the godmother of my former boss's children, and was one of those people who welcomed me into this particular family when I started coming to presenter regional meetings and to New York, to APAP. And while I never booked anything from Mary Beth, she spoke to me every conference and was warm and welcoming, and it is so lovely to be the recipient of an award named for someone dear like that, who touches my life. When I came in here, I was welcomed with a great deal of warmth and energy and enthusiasm. I met artist agents who learned what my program was all about, and said to me, I remember Joan Sherman, who's no longer in these rooms, saying to me, Jim, here's an artist that would be great on your series. I don't manage her, but she's setting the world on fire in Washington, D.C. And then Mary Chapin Carpenter had a big hit, and I couldn't afford her. But it was that kind of generosity that I found in these rooms of people willing to look at a program and tell a presenter what kind of things would serve them best, even though it wasn't going to serve that particular artist management's interest. So I've been welcomed with a great deal of that sort of thing from all of those people that I meet in the exhibit halls. I've been very fortunate to be associated with a wonderful group of presenters in Pennsylvania. Yes, Ellis Finger and Carol Linda Dickey taught me probably everything I know about dance, and I'm blessed by that. Deb Sakarakis and Terry Carisi have informed my selections sometimes about touring artists through Pennsylvania, like Pascal Rioux. Linda Resnick once saw me on the street in Pittsburgh and said, Jim, you're a part of the community. You need to be involved in Past Forward with Misha when he comes to Pittsburgh. And so I danced with Misha in Pittsburgh because of Linda. It was my pleasure to work with Tom Ward and John Tomlinson on putting together one of the largest tours for Paul Taylor and Taylor too that we've ever seen in Pennsylvania. And we were talking this morning about trying to do it again in 11-12 and expanding that throughout the Mid-Atlantic region, and then using that particular new touring model to hit other regions of the country as well. It's been my great pleasure to work in this business, and I will continue to work in this business even though I am retired from the Pennsylvania Council on the Arts. So I look forward to seeing you in the future, and I look forward to seeing you in Pittsburgh. It's a great city. You will have a great time, and I promised Sage that I would give her any kind of assistance she needs to make sure that we have again a record-breaking crowd in Pittsburgh. So thank you very much. This really does touch my heart very deeply, perhaps more than